What up, everybody? Everybody. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the What's Up, Everybody podcast. Here with my co-host, Sweet T, a.k.a. Tony, little bro. Because there was some confusion last time.
Yeah, we got to just, at the beginning of every video, we got to drill it. I am his brother.
Yes.
His legit brother. Not like what's up, my bro? Like, with your friends or whatever. Like, we're legit. Actually. Blood related. So. Yeah,
it's not Michael Bisping over here.
Not Stipe Miocic. All right? and I got to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get a lot of comments. Oh, dude, Michael Bisping let himself go. Like, that's messed up. Okay?
Talking about your weight, can't be doing that. Weight.
Oh, but no, you're right. I love tacos. I love food. And
Speaking of tacos, I think we're going to have some tacos tonight.
We have some tacos later.
Yeah,
shout out Mom for the tacos.
How was your weekend?
It was good, man. You should know because we were together all weekend.
Pretty much, yeah.
But, it was as good as yours was, I guess.
I had a good weekend, man. We actually started off with, an appearance.
We did. We had an appearance for a local shop, store, local sponsor.
Cairo's Mediterranean restaurant is so flipping good. They hosted an appearance there for me, one of my local sponsors.
Yep.
Guys, let me tell you about this. This restaurant, super good, all over the South Carolina.
The whole state of SC, Charleston locations. They got a couple up here in the upstate.
Yeah.
Really good Greek, really good Mediterranean food.
Solid food, great energy, good clean food. And people don't really realize that I don't just train.
Yeah.
I teach, and whenever I go to Cairo's, it gets me through the workouts, gets me through the day with good clean food, good energy. It's solid. It's solid.
So if you're in the upstate, if you're in South Carolina, give them a check them out. Let us know what you think. If you go through, it's like the new thing where you go through the line, somebody's behind, they're making a bowl for you, or they're doing a pita for you. They got some great vegan falafels. What's your favorite food there, man?
I believe they know exactly what I get every time. It's the recovery bowl.
Ooh.
Man, got some rice, got some spicy chicken, got some olives, some feta cheese, some meatballs.
Bro, my mouth's watering right now. Chill.
I'm sorry. Getting hungry. So shout out to Cairo's.
Yes, appreciate you guys.
Thank you for hosting me as well.
100%. So again, if you're in the area, if you're in the upstate, if you're passing through, check out Cairo's Mediterranean. Appreciate you, God. Appreciate you, God. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all.
Appreciate God too,
Yeah. You. Cairo's, the food that moves you forward.
Ooh,
and it does.
It just sounds good.
It does. So shout out to y'all.
Shout out, baby.
But it was cool, man. Meeting people. It's funny to think, like, even though you're not like a celebrity to me, or you're not as famous as a lot of people out there.
Justin Bieber,
Yeah, like there's a few guys that are a little more famous than you.
Just a few.
It's still cool to see, even locally, how many people think you're super inaccessible when in reality you're
I'm most accessible. I'm like super easy.
Yeah, come
to
in,
get a
sign
hold
up
of,
for some karate, and you're literally with them every day.
I'm here every day. And the funny thing was, even though they're with me every day, we still had a ton of our students out there. Like, the kids loved it.
Just showing support. We got the best people here at Upstate Karate.
We had people flying in from Dallas, Texas.
Look at that.
We had people driving up from Charlotte, from Charleston, from Atlanta. It was pretty cool.
It was really cool.
Good turnout, man.
Really cool. I'm glad to see they're starting to doing that too with the UFC, because that was one of the coolest things before pre-pandemic was the guest fighters.
Oh, that was so fun.
And they would fly you out for the weekend. So the UFC would fly WB out for the weekend, and he would do appearances and stuff, and I'd be along for the ride because they'd do a +1.
You love that. The first class, baby. Was it Singapore? Well, actually, I got the first class. I paid for your first class.
Well, here's what happened. Singapore was nuts, all right? So it was their first event, maybe. I don't remember, but they wanted WB out in Singapore.
It was so much fun.
And they had a +1. And so we get to the airport, and they upgraded Steven to first class for free. Like, they just gave him a free upgrade. And here I am. I'm like just looking like a sad puppy because I'm about to be flying coach for 37 hours, butt hurting. I had just, at the very least, sprained my coccyx bone in Utah snowboarding. So, man, I was going to have issues, but then WB, he shelled out some dinero,
man.
got me that
dude.
first class upgrade, so we're chilling.
When your bro's rocking with you got to show him some love too. You got to get him that good as well. Got to get him that first class with you. You can't be doing that alone and have old Sweet T in the back just struggling with the rest of them.
So we were excited, we were pumped, we were ready to roll, right? So we get over to the gate. I don't remember what happened. Storms came in. We got delayed. We were at the airport for like a whole day.
An entire day, like all day and all night. So we were in Singapore for a day, pretty much.
Yeah. So what was supposed to be Thursday through Sunday ended up literally being, because they're like a full half a day or almost a full day ahead of us in time. I'm not sure which one. By the time we got there Friday. Literally spent Saturday there for the fights and everything. Left Sunday. It was miserable. And on the way back, they didn't have any first class upgrade seats available.
Oh, that's when we got yelled at, right? Because we tried to switch places.
We tried to hit that switcheroo, and they immediately cut us. They're like, "Sir, no, you're not allowed."
It made me mad because I paid for that seat. Why can't we switch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I kind of upset. Of course, I didn't talk back. I was just like, okay, yes, ma'am. But halfway through, I tried to switch places with Sweet Tea, and they caught on real quick. They're like, no, you get back to your spot, and you get back to your spot. Like, yes,
they're like, we've already put dinner orders in. Like, you can't, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, dang it. So I got to enjoy first class for like 45 seconds. The way back from.
Dude, those trips were fun. I can't wait till they start going back there, like doing the guest fighters. Man, we went to Brazil. We've been to Singapore. We've been to
Chicago. Intense trips.
Vegas, the International Fight Week, so fun. So fun just to hang out with fans and just, it's kind of like our time. It's like a mini vacation. It's actually a vacation after our vacation.
Yeah. The fight, the
International Fight Week. Yeah.
Hopefully they do that again this year.
Oh, I hope so.
It's looking like it.
I hope so.
And if they do it, is it going to be on your fight? Is your fight going to be the culmination? Because that's July 10th.
I know.
Usually that week.
That's true. But you figured they would start announcing it already.
I don't know. Maybe they.
Dang it.
All it takes is one little thing for Dana White to be like.
I try not to fight on that weekend so that way we can have a good time.
Well,
Still have a good time after a win.
You've had pretty good success on International Fight Week fight cards.
No,
How many times have you fought on International Fight?
Once.
Oh. Well, you won. Knockout.
Yeah, Jake Ellenberger.
Yeah. So International Fight Weeks have always been fun. Hopefully they do something like that. That'd be cool. But like I was saying, for this Houston card, they had the meet and greets. They had the fighter panel like questions.
What?
Happening
and I wasn't invited?
No, dude.
Dang it.
You would get calls like every week.
I would love. I was like, heck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Any chance they call me and say, hey, we want you here, especially if it was out of country, because then you got to do some cool stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, dude.
Good times. Hopefully they crank that back up.
We had just posted something up not too long ago, like one of my most recent fights, my first pro fight. Because remember there was some confusion on that one post I had on Instagram that it wasn't really my first pro fight. It was I was still amateur then, so we had to post up my first pro kickboxing fight.
Yeah, you posted that one on your Instagram. So if you haven't seen. Again, it wasn't his first pro fight. They fought pro rules and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We talked about that in one of our last episodes of the podcast. But if you haven't seen it, go check that out on his Instagram. But yeah, we did the upload of you reacting to your actual first pro kickboxing fight.
When I look at that video, it's crazy how far we've come, like with technology, because it looked like it was like filmed back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible, super pixelated. Like VHS. I think it was VHS, wasn't it? They still have VHS then?
Yeah, everything was still VHS. Those fights were just digitally, because you did that TV show.
Oh,
it was a big hit. Oh, my gosh.
It was not a big hit. It was
gotta
terrible.
Convince WB to release some of that cringy TV show.
For one, that was the first time I was ever on camera pretty much. And I was just terrible. It was bad. I had a shell necklace on.
That was back in the shell necklace days. Yeah, the choker
shell
days.
Necklace days. Yeah, the choker days. Was it a choker?
You were a big choker guy.
It wasn't a choker. It was just a shell necklace, okay?
But it was like tight. There was no space between the neck and the necklace.
You guys that are my age know what I'm talking about. I had the frosted tips.
You did. The spiked up bangs.
Yep. I've had the same haircut since I was 5.
Yeah, pretty. Well, you had the bowl cut around.
Oh yeah, the bowl cut. That's right. Around that time, I had the bowl cut. But yeah, that was super cringy. I never want to see that again.
Convince WB to release some of that footage. I don't know, it's pretty bad. But you guys all have those things. Chris has that commercial that he did for the jewelry. Chris Weidman does. Oh my goodness,
it was terrible.
You guys got some cringy stuff out there. Dude.
I know,
so
which is
crazy.
good. Like I was like when I go back, I don't know why the things that would come to my mouth would be super weird. You know, because I remember I was like 18 or something like that, doing it was like talking about the fight. You know how they do the fight commentary. Hey man, what are you going to do to this guy? And they were asking me about my training camp. I'm fighting for an amateur world title. I was an amateur world title. I remember this. He was like, yeah man, it's the fighter, it's the the kicker versus the boxer. You know, has your dad changed up your training camp at all? And I literally look at the camera. I'm like, no, you know. We've been doing the same thing. You know, my dad's just been nailing me real hard.
And that was it. That was his response. You know, we picked it up a little bit, but you know, my pops has been real nailing me.
he's been nailing me real hard.
And then the camera just like cut off.
No. I remember after that, the guy that was actually asking me the questions, like, yeah, we're keeping that. I was like, no, we got to do that again. He's like, no, we're keeping that. They kept it. I was like so mad. But yeah, it was like really weird. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. It was really, really, I don't know. I would say some pretty bad stuff whenever I was put on the spot.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you do the reactions like that and you watch your old kickboxing stuff, because some of this is footage that I remember being at. Like I was at that fight. I was 11 years old maybe. We went through the whole train. No, that wasn't it.
No.
This was 2004, so I was a few years older. I was 13, 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I vaguely remember it, and that was the first time I had seen that fight since it took place.
Really?
In 2004. So whenever you, and for you as well, right? Like you haven't really watched a whole lot of old footage.
No, it's been years.
What's the biggest thing that you take away specifically from your fighting then to now, or your understanding of the game or whatever?
Yeah, so for number one, I was definitely more shredded. You know,
why do you think that is?
Just because of the young metabolism, you know what I'm saying?
The young hormones coursing through your veins.
Yes, exactly. But number two,
yeah, you're pretty old now.
That I'd kick my tail.
Why? Why
just because, like,
I mean, you're pretty ferocious. I couldn't kick your tail then.
Yes, you could. I think
you didn't stop.
The variety, just my IQ is such at a different level now. I think the wisdom out there whenever you compete, I've just had more experience. You know, just my whole style has changed since then. I think to the better. Even if I go back to kickboxing, I think it would be a lot better than it was then. The movement, the variety of kicks, the combinations are different now. I throw more stuff. I think my accuracy, my calmness, I think is a lot better whenever I'm out there. I was a little bit more ferocious though, then. And I think it was that young testosterone flowing through. I think I was a little bit more, I'm going to try and knock this dude out. You know, I could just see the... Instead of being more... Which I think sometimes that's not a good idea. That's not good. I think I'm more calm and collected.
At the same time, though, you weren't getting hit a lot.
No.
And you definitely weren't getting hit hard because, I tell my kiddos whenever we spar, they find themselves in situations where they get scared of getting hit, so they feel like if they just hunker down and start blocking, they're not going to get hit. But in reality, just because you're blocking doesn't mean the guy is going to stop hitting you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you got to throw back. You got to make them stop hitting you by striking them back. So with your ferociousness and your kickboxing, you never give the other people a chance to get that offense going.
Yeah.
And they're always just, like, ducking and covering, like, holy crap.
But, two, those were only 2-minute rounds. If I do that now, the cardio... There's a lot of cardio that's involved with that, not letting it just constantly going. You know what I mean?
I got to sneeze.
Dude, sneeze. Look at the light. Look at the light.
No, I can't. Weird.
I thought you farted because you look like you smelled something bad.
No, I got the tip of the nose tingle.
Yeah.
But the sneeze. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I would kick. I think I would tear myself up. I would love to fight myself then.
Yeah, no, you say that all the time.
Just from looking at it. I don't know. I would just, my style now is way different.
It's got to be because of everything that's
so
involved.
much more movement now, angles. I was just straightforward.
You didn't have to worry about a takedown. You didn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about any of that. So that's, and you can kind of go back and see. Look at the way I fight now. I just think I'm fast. I think I'm faster now than I was then at the age of.
Well, I think that has to go a lot with your fighting style. You have to be faster now in the pocket because with those small gloves on, obviously if you can get touched in the pocket. When you're in that striking range, you're always vulnerable of getting hit and getting KO'd, no matter who you are. Kickboxing, you have the gloves on.
The blocking surface is much greater because you have that big glove on. When you have an MMA glove on, you're like this, and they just get around that hand just a little bit, or even hit your hand. It's just like there's no padding. Mm-hmm. I used to do that a lot, man. I used to just use my glove to block. Like I would stick my hand up like this, and nobody could punch me in the face because the glove was so big. I just shark finned it, and everything would glance off. Mm-hmm. I wish we fought in like kickboxing gloves.
Yeah, for you that would be excellent.
Yeah, that would be excellent.
For everybody else, not so much. One of the things that I always see, and I've kind of done some digging and found some older fights, and I know we got to get in mom and dad's basement and see if we can find some.
Oh, we got some
more stuff. I know it's all down there. But one of the things that always impressed me with you and your kickboxing was like no matter how tired you were, because you got tired. Yeah. It wasn't like you had cardio for days, but no matter how tired you were, you just didn't stop. Like it didn't affect you to the point where you're like, all right, I need to chill this round.
Back up,
catch my breath. You're like, I'm tired, but I'm still not going to stop for the entire round, and I think just that breaks people as well.
Yeah.
So this dude's not stopping.
But then when you add on, 3 more minutes that you have to think about that now.
Yeah.
You have to learn to, to stay like active rest, keep your partner at bay, but also find time to breathe. That's a whole art on its own. Is to be able to go out in the fight, even though you're tired, to make it look like you're not tired, to make it look like you're about to throw a strike, but at the same time, that's your recovery. Like that's when you want to mentally get your opponent to think that you're ready to strike, but really you're resting. Mm-hmm. It's a whole art on its own.
Yeah.
So,
crazy.
But I thought it was fun to watch. It was definitely fun to break down. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out. It's on the channel. We uploaded that last Tuesday? No, last Thursday.
Was this past Thursday.
Yeah, go check that fight out.
The most recent upload before this one.
So I was what? 2001.
No, it was 2004.
That was 2004.
You were 21.
Dang, I was 21 years old.
Mm-hmm. 21 years.
I haven't changed that much. I don't think. I mean,
what do you mean looks wise? I mean, you definitely look like a little more frail and stuff like that.
Shut up, man.
There's a little more color to your hair now.
I look jacked. Did I not look jacked?
No, yeah, you look solid. But again, that's also a testament to how we were training back in the day.
Yeah.
We literally trained, and I trained too, for 2.5 hours every night. We called it late night. Talk about some intense training.
Bro.
It was just because we teach classes all day. So we had no morning training. We had nothing like that. We did everything
at night.
We just did rounds of bag work and
an hour of kickboxing, and then you would stay for our pro and AMI directly after that late night. And we didn't get home till like 11, it seemed like. 11
I was in middle school getting home at like 11 o'clock because I'd been training kickboxing all night.
And Dad wonders why I did so bad in school. Well, didn't have time to do home. Well, I mean, I don't think that's bad. I think so.
I don't think we can only blame it on that.
Oh, I am completely blaming it on that. It's all your fault, Dad. I'm just kidding. But it was good times, man. I was jacked. My shoulders were big because I was just throwing punches constantly.
Dude, like I'm saying, late night training we would just do an hour and a half of just heavy bag work.
Yeah, pop.
And Dad would be sitting on the corner, and there would be 18, 20 of us, all kickboxers. We'd each have a bag, 2 on a bag, and we would just be slamming and
then
jamming.
We would spar, and then after sparring, then he would have us do plyometrics up and down the mat like frog
jumps.
Those
were the worst.
Man. And
just the side-to-side shuffles for entire rounds, which looking back, we're pretty sure we only did like 2 or 3 minutes, like 2 or 3 minute rounds.
Yeah.
But on the squishy mats and everything.
Oh, it's like it's like doing it on sand.
Yep.
Those were the good old days.
Those were.
Definitely like the way we train now.
Yeah. You got to be more efficient.
You have to.
More technical, more precise.
More recovery.
You can't have any wasted movements out there. You got to be just fully, more recovery.
More recovery time too. What would they say? Kobe spent on his recovery like $1 million or something like that.
Like a year.
A year just on recovery. It was ridiculous.
Something like that.
Yeah. Look that up.
Check that out for us, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. It's I think our name changes every podcast.
I haven't found one that fits yet.
A name?
Like a name that I'm like
Kiefer.
Enjoy.
It's rare. Kiefer's a rare name.
It is rare.
Yo, Kiefer.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh for all you Kiefers out there. I just didn't expect that to come out of his mouth.
Oh, Kiefer. Good fights this weekend.
We did. We had some good fights this weekend.
New champion as well.
New lightweight champion. But before we get into all that, number one, first fight on the card was just it was a barn burner. It was everything everybody expected it to be. Edson Barboza, Shane Burgos.
Shane is a beast, man. Shane is I've been on a few cards with him. That guy is just a savage when he's out there.
He's tough. He's crisp. He's technical.
Yeah. But Barboza, man, I mean, they got fight of the night. So it was a barn burner, and Barboza went out there and for the vets, man, won it.
Mm-hmm.
Won it.
He looked good. He looked really good. He's been looking great at 145. I was just doing a look at some of the rankings at 145. He was 13 at the time. Burgos was number 9, so he's moving his way up the ladder, man. He's an animal for anybody in that 145 division. If the weight cut isn't as detrimental, you know, as he's saying it's not. He's saying everything's good. He feels great. If it really is, dude, sky's the limit for him at 145.
I've actually sparred with him at Black Zillions when Black Zillions was around 8.
Really?
Yeah, it was super. It was a fun sparring session. It was really fun. So yeah, it was really cool to see him go out there, get that W. What do you think about Jacare getting submitted? Didn't see that.
Yeah.
Coming.
No. Well, yeah, I didn't see it
getting
coming
submitted.
at all.
I mean, Jacare is known for his jiu-jitsu, and he gets the arm bicep broken, right?
Yeah.
Was it his bicep bone?
Yeah.
What?
Snapped it, and you heard it.
Oh, no.
You heard it, and they replayed it like 14 times.
Stop. I hate it when they do that.
You know, whenever Chris broke his, they did it like once, and that was it.
Yeah, it was just so bad. But
Jacare's was just like over and over. I didn't even know what happened. I didn't see it in the fight. I just like, oh, he tapped, you know, or no, the referee stopped it. I don't even think he tapped.
I knew it was injured. Like I didn't hear the I just saw him like when he sat up, just look at his arm, it was just hanging there.
I thought it was an elbow.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, which you know, when you got a broken bone like in there, especially here, it's just like a sensitive area. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, like it's just a sensation that you can't really imagine. Like you can imagine breaking a shin is just extremely. It's like weird just to have this bone.
Yeah,
because you don't really ever hear of just this bone breaking. It's mostly the forearm or the elbow or the wrist.
You know who? That's what I was thinking of when Nogueira had. Remember when Frank Mir broke his? Boo! And it was like the camera was like just zoomed in on it when it just snaps.
Such a weird thing, but again, I don't. Did Jacare tap or did they just stop?
I think he
because
stopped
it broke?
I think he stopped it. Yeah, he heard it and it stopped.
He could have just tucked that bad boy in. He's done it before.
I know.
No,
that wasn't it. That was
him.
Was that him? Yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
At the 2005, right? Wasn't that 2000? We were there.
I don't remember, but he like tucked his hand in his belt and he just let it ride. Won the jiu-jitsu match with a broken arm. I'm pretty sure
he was going
it was
against
him.
Roger Gracie.
Yeah.
We were there, 2005, dude.
I don't remember, dude.
I remember.
Where were we?
We were in California. There? That was when.
Oh, when Jacques grappled Dean Lister.
GSP got submitted with flying armbar.
Okay.
It was when Marcelo Garcia climbed up that dude's back, and the dude jumps up and lands on Marcelo Garcia, and everybody booed him for it because Marcelo was such a smaller guy. He climbed up the dude's back, and the guy just jumped up and body slams on top of Marcelo. And then he had Jean-Jacques going against Dean Lister. Yeah. And then the main event was Roger Gracie and Jacare. And Jacare had I guess he dislocated his arm or something like that with an arm bar and just won it. Ended up winning.
Didn't tap, didn't make any noise, got out of it, and then
tucked it in his belt. Yeah, I think that was it. That was wild.
I have no recollection. I just remember him putting his hand in his belt and
running around. Yeah, it was crazy, man. But yeah, I guess in a fight, you got referees there willing to take care of you. You know what I mean? So stopped it so he didn't have. I feel like as a fighter, he probably would have.
Kept going?
Oh, I would try to.
Really?
I mean.
Just like that bad boy. It was the beginning of the fight.
That's true.
It wasn't like there was 30 seconds left.
I mean, I broke both my hands. That's probably, the pain level is probably not as bad as getting your just arm snapped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. And then, but he was just chilling. He was like, "Oh, it's all right, man. Like, I understand."
Yeah, good one. Go back home and
I'll just put some ice on it.
yeah, be all right.
It'll be okay.
Rub some what do you call that? Icy hot, whatever.
Yeah, it's just some biofreeze.
Tie liniment,
Yeah, definitely tie liniment for sure.
aloe.
It's more like
burns.
sunburns and stuff.
Yeah.
We had Cachoeira. She came in. She looked solid. She ended up turning the tables and finishing her girl.
Piecing her up. That was good.
Her opponent, I think, Mazzani, I think is her name. She looked sharp in the first round. She looked like she had it in the bag, and then, man, like we were talking about earlier, that fatigue set in from.
Just going hard. Nerves. You don't know what it is. Like when you step out in the cage, like you can be the best shape of your life, but just something happens. Like your legs get weak for some reason. I don't know why,
You hear it referred to as adrenaline dump.
Adrenaline
I'm
dumps.
not a physiologist. I'm not
straight up dumping adrenaline.
endocrinologist. I don't know why that affects fatigue and like adrenaline dump. Like what is actually going on when that happens? But you see it a lot.
Yeah, you do see that a lot. And like it hasn't happened to me.
Just Matt Brown.
That wasn't adrenaline dump though. I don't think that was just a weight cut.
Just bad weight cut. You just had no
weight cut. It was terrible. But I hope I never experienced that adrenaline dump. Actually, you know what? I have early in my kickboxing days. I felt that adrenaline dump, just being nervous, pacing into the back, and then your time to go out there, and it feels like your body's just like, it almost feels like your blood sugar's dropped or whatever.
You're just like sleepy.
Like you're sleepy. Yeah, your muscles are just dead. Your action's off. It's not like your lungs are tired. It's just your body, your muscles are fatigued. It's weird. But I think that happened early in my kickboxing days. But I hate to see fighters out there when that happens to them, because it's like, man, you can tell they're just like, no, why is this happening? Mm-hmm. I'm better than this, and then they question themselves and they're like, why did that happen? But it changes fights, man. Start to get tired.
Yeah.
That's why when you go in, you got to stay as calm as possible in the back. That's why I've learned to sleep. There's guys in the back that just do full-on workouts, and then you have people that just pace back and forth. And I think that nervous energy makes you tired when you step out there.
I guess it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Because some people swear by it. Like they were talking about Cerrone before he fought his last fight, how he had already done like 2 rounds in the back with the coach, just so that when he got out there to start round 1, it was like it was round 3, so he was already in the moment, ready to roll.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the results kind of speak for themselves.
Because they always talk about him starting off slow.
Yeah, being a slow starter, and you don't want to be a slow starter and get caught or whatever. But you never really had an issue with that.
No.
It's good to kind of start slow. You get a feel for your
there is some
partner, your opponent.
Calculations going on for sure. Like not, it's definitely subconscious calculations that you're doing. It's not like you're thinking, oh, this dude's doing that, but it's like subconsciously you're making these little calculations out there. Like, you see like Izzy Adesanya, the way he faints like 1,000,000 times a round, but he's subconsciously making these calculations on what this guy's going to do. You can learn a lot about somebody, when you're out there and, throwing those feints and things like that. There's a lot of calculation going on in the beginning, and then you figure those out, halfway through the second round, third round, then you got it. Mm-hmm. You saw it when I fought Vicente Luque. Mm-hmm. Just kind of feeling him out in the first round. Second round was better, and third round was just on.
Yeah, you made all the adjustments.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool to think about. Speaking of thinking about, and we completely missed on this, Shane Burgos, Edson Barboza, what about that knockout?
Bro, really cool. I mean, it was weird.
Really
it was
cool.
weird. I mean, I've seen, who else did one like that? When I spin hook kick Ellenberger, didn't he have it delayed? Or he just made a face and fell over?
No, that was you. You got much probability. No, he got hit, and he was like already going backwards. I mean, this was full blown. He gets hit, His hands are still up. He's like, all right, good shot. His hands are up. Like, he's ready to do his next thing, and all of a sudden, body shuts down. And he just falls back. Douche, done. And he was like, you could see he was fully coherent, fully there, but his body was just shut off. I
think what had happened was he got hit, timer went down, then his brain just blew up. It was like, I'm just like exploded, and he just fell over.
That definitely didn't happen.
I know, but how do you explain that?
The Force.
That's such a weird.
You tweeted it last night. They used the Force.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. The Jedi's doing their mind powers, and then they just fall over.
When he hit him with it, he implanted a Force bug.
Yeah, in his brain.
And then it just took some time to.
The countdown. 3, 2, 1, done.
Shut off.
Right.
That was crazy.
Hit him in that pressure point.
That was super interesting. Hit him like on his cheek, and it just rocked him so hard that
his
body was like, wait a second. I feel like I should have gone down then. So let's go ahead and do that right now.
Let's go ahead.
Let's make that happen now.
I felt those temple shots. They make you do weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hit Ellenberg in the temple. He made a weird thing. When I got hit in the temple by Tyron, I made a weird face and fell over. It just a delayed reaction.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was crazy.
Super crazy.
Crazy.
So then we had back up, moving into the line of events there. We had Chukagian coming back, looking pretty solid, pretty back and forth fight. Got the W there. It was close, but she stayed busy. She stayed active, and got the W in her fight. And then co-main event time.
Yeah. Co-main. Old Dariush.
And Tony Ferry.
So what do you think? You think, good fight. Heel hook. Didn't see that happening. I thought they were just going to stand up and bang it out, which...
Yeah, Dariush had an interesting approach. Obviously, his main goal was to take Tony Ferguson down and out-grapple him. I thought Tony Ferguson was known for having really slick jiu-jitsu, but I guess Dariush was like, mine's better.
You got to be really confident in the way you start doing. Like, he's notorious for doing those Imanari rolls, Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Just diving in randomly on people's legs, trying to go for heel hooks.
He's notorious for doing a lot of random things.
He is. He is. That he is, Sweet Tea.
They came out, and he looked like the old Tony Ferguson was back. He was doing, like, the shots in the corner. His hair was back. He was, like, feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, the sneeze is coming back.
Dude, just get it over with. The sneeze is down and determined. It's down determined to just come to the surface. Look at the light, Tony.
He was doing the shots, and he was, feeling himself. And then he just got out-wrestled and out-jiu-jitsu the whole 3 rounds. Got his ACL or something torn by the heel hook. He didn't tap. He's an animal. Tough as nails, no doubt about it.
Golly.
But
I think it was a heel hook on you.
Yeah.
You start, your career
he
starts
took it.
Thinking. Yeah,
he ate it though. And all the knee damage that came with it finished the round, but
couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. I think it was the commentators, Dean Thomas, he's really cool, how they have that extra tidbit in there. He's like the 4th man on the commentary table specifically for technical advice or kind of breaking down legitimately breaking down scenarios and stuff. And
it's cool that they did that.
Yeah,
it makes that average MMA guy learn more about it, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you become more of a fan.
Yeah, they usually do it with Trevor Whitman. They've been doing it with Dean Thomas now, so super cool there. But he made the point that Tony Ferguson was allowed for so long in his career to just be wild and crazy that he never really worked or focused on the fundamentals. The basics. The basics, so that now that he's getting older and he's slowing down and the wild randomness isn't as effective, he doesn't have the basic fundamentals to fall back on.
Right.
To keep him up to par with the rest of the division.
Yeah. Basics are crucial, to the fight game and longevity of the fight game, and you're seeing that with him. Like, if I didn't have the fundamentals, now I'm 38, but am I as fast as I used to be? I feel like I am, but really, you have to have those fundamentals to fall back on when it comes to blocking, movement, staying calm, and you saw it out there when Tony Ferguson was getting submitted.
Yeah. He didn't tap to the submission.
He didn't, but still, If he had the fundamentals, he would have tapped. You know what I mean?
He would have fundamentally learned how to tap to that,
right,
so that he could walk later. But no, yeah, and you say it to your students too a lot whenever you're out there teaching the kids and stuff. It's like a lot of kids, when they think about karate, they think about Ninja Turtles, they think about
Karate
flashy,
Kid,
spinny, flippy stuff. But you spend a good chunk of your training
and
learning the boring jabs, front kicks,
jab crosses, jab cross. I mentioned that last week when Mr. T. Well, actually, I was teaching. We were doing bag work, and that's all we worked on was basic shuffling forward, jab cross. And everybody's like, "Oh, we do this a million times." And I'm like, chill, guys, come in here for a second.
How many free throws you think LeBron shoots?
Right.
How many just boring layups you think Michael Jordan did?
Thousands and thousands.
Right, like that's what makes you good. It's not the jumping from the foul line slam dunks that's going to happen all the time and win the games. It's cool every once in a while on top of the fundamentals, the basics. Those spinny kicks that you do, the flying tornado kicks, that's cool every once in a while, but it's those fundamentals, it's those basics that sets up
and
those
sets
spinny things.
Yeah, but it also sets apart the good from the greats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the guys who really broke down the fundamentals, spend time on it, even though it's boring, just spend time on that, just, that jab over and over and over again. What did Bruce Lee say? Don't fear the man that has done 10,000 kicks once. Fear the man that's done one kick 10,000 times.
Because that one kick's going to be nasty.
Nasty. So, yeah.
So what do you think's next for Tony? You think it's,
everybody, they're talking about it. We'll see how long he recovers. Like, what's his recovery time with the old knee injury? So, and that's going to be on him, which I think he's going to be like a Diego Sanchez and just not do it, not retire, just fight until somebody makes him, until he gets cut.
Yeah. Until he gets stopped.
Yeah. I think that's. I mean, when you look at him, that's what I see.
His mindset.
Just I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop.
Die fighting, which is not always the best.
Nope.
Mentality or mindset.
I want to die when I'm about 120.
That's random, but I think you can do it. If anybody can do it, you can, man.
My goal is to break records. I want to be 51 still in the UFC. I got to get past Glover.
What about? I'm pretty sure Randy Couture fought in the UFC at like 50.
No, he wasn't 50.
Pretty sure he was at least
35.
60.
He was at least 60 years old.
He fought. Who was it that knocked his tooth out? Machida?
Lyoto Machida.
He fought Machida at least 58 years old. He had braces on every joint on his body. He had the ankle, the knee, the elbow, the neck. He was out there
just one big brace.
One big brace.
And now his tooth, because his tooth got knocked out in that fight.
The only thing he didn't brace was his mouth, and he got toe up. Dang. Yeah. I think you can do it, though. You can set records for sure. You can fight till you're 51, 52.
Main event, dude.
Main event time. We did a breakdown on the main event, and we were talking about wrestling and power versus jiu-jitsu and technicality, and basically none of what we said they did.
Yep.
It was purely, a little bit.
They were brawling, dude.
They were right up the bat.
What I love most about the fight was the fact that Chandler was putting it on him, like almost knocked him out, and then the comeback. The guy just weathered the storm, and because if you go back and watch a lot of his fights, like he breaks.
You mean Oliveira?
Oliveira. He breaks in some of them, and I don't know if it was because of the weight cut. I think he feels better now, definitely at 155 than he did at 145. But I think maybe the weight cut had something to do with it. But he didn't break, man. He came back and TKO'd him. Mm-hmm. That's what I was more impressed with, the comeback.
Especially with a guy like Oliveira. Yeah, the whole time I saw him getting rocked in the first round. I love Chandler. He's a great guy. We've met him. He's American. He's born and bred, all that good stuff. But I also love Oliveira because of what he's done, what he's been doing, how long he's been doing it, who he's fought.
2010.
And
was it 2010? He had his first fight in the UFC?
Yeah, something like that, 2009, 2010. And he's finally, he's in form. he's one of those guys that like deserves it.
Yeah.
He deserves it. So
Yeah.
it's good to see him go out there and get that W. And the cool thing with Michael Chandler is that, yeah, he's been fighting. Yeah, he's 35. He's been fighting a while. But he still looks young. He trains like an animal. He's in shape. He's fit. So there's no doubt in my mind he can come back.
And he seemed in good spirits after the fight. Like, you know, you can still feel that hunger. Like, I'm coming back, bro. I'm not, you know, I think he tweeted it out or put it on Instagram or something like that. He's coming back. He said this, what does he say, next year he's going to have that title, or in 12 months he's going to have that title. So.
It was cool. It was a good fight. He rocked him. He
almost knocked him out.
He was really setting up literally the same combination that he threw against Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
The right to the body, step in, switch, left up to the hook, and he left up to the head, and he hit him with it. He rocked him, put him down, beat him up,
but couldn't stop him.
He just couldn't. He
couldn't finish
him. He was so close.
Reminded me of, who was it? Diaz. One of Diaz's fights where he had his head down low and the guy's trying to swing. He's just moving his head like this. You know, Oliveira was moving. I was like, man, dude must have like eyes in the back of his head or something.
Yeah, it was really, really close. And then all of a sudden,
comes back, man. Bah.
Clocks him, and then drops him, and then that's all she wrote there for Charles Oliveira. You know,
proud of the dude, man. That was awesome. And then he jumps out of the cage, does some kind of alligator crawl to Dana.
Yeah,
was it Dana?
Goes to Dana, gets some blood on him, goes to the crowd, hangs out with his boys. I mean, like I said, he's worked so hard. He's put in time. He's fought the who's who.
You got fined for that?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
Yeah, it's like because of what was it? I think it was like Jose Aldo when he jumped out and went into the crowd. They were like, all right, no more of that stuff.
Yeah.
You can't leave the cage. So he'll probably catch a fine somewhere. But he won the belt. He's the lightweight world champion. It's worth it.
I mean, there's some bonus. They said the bonuses.
He got a bonus too.
I mean, what was the bonus though?
$75K.
What? Why do they do that?
Because Tony Ferguson asked for it, and Dana White was like, all right, cool, we'll do $75K.
What? All right, I'm gonna ask for it.
Like, hey, Dan, $1 million.
$1 million, dude. $1 million bonuses. What UFC card am I fighting on?
264.
264, dude. We got.
So speaking of UFC 264, you got to imagine the winner of Poirier and McGregor is going to fight Oliveira next for the belt. So, just real quick, without going into super crazy details, who do you pick winning Poirier McGregor 3? And then briefly touch on whoever you think wins, how they'll do against Oliveira. Go. You got 35 seconds.
Okay, so I believe that Conor McGregor has more to change than Poirier does. Poirier can go out there and fight the same way he's been doing since day one, and I think he'll do fine. But Conor has gotten to this rut where he's developed this boxing style. Is he going to be able to come back and bring back that karate style again? You know what I'm saying? So I believe that Conor, right? I think that Conor has more to change than to get better on than Poirier does. And Poirier's got the advantage with the confidence. He's finished him in the first round. Wasn't that long ago. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't that long ago that he did that.
No, was it the second round?
Well, it was second round.
Second round, yeah.
Second round.
It was. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, I don't know, man. I would love to see Conor McGregor come back, but Poirier? I don't know. You know what? I'm going for Conor.
You think Conor's?
I want to go for Conor.
In the trilogy.
Yeah, I'm going for Conor.
He's definitely talking trash. He's definitely getting back into there.
Yeah,
getting back into
he's bringing back his old
again.
self.
He is looking big, looking jacked. I don't know, man. Has he ever lost twice in a row, dude? It's a tough pick because they're both really good. They're really tough. You pick Conor. Yeah.
Conor doesn't like to lose. He knows now what he's got to work on. He's got to bring back that movement, dude. And I think he was doing some movement stuff with a movement coach not too long ago. So I don't know if he brought that guy back.
He's going back to his old ways.
Old ways, man.
I don't know. Old Conor's a beast. So say Conor wins the belt. How does he do against Oliveira?
I don't know, man.
Tougher fight.
It is that well. I do believe that Conor can land his left hand. When it comes to the ground game, not a chance. Mm-hmm. If Oliveira can get Conor down,
or even just get attached to Conor,
at any time, and he's taller, which I've seen Oliveira literally put himself up against the cage right? Lean over, get a guillotine and finish dudes. Like he likes it. He doesn't mind being up against the fence. But, I don't see Conor ever trying to get him there. I think he's going to keep it out in the open, use his movement again, and try and hit him with that left hand like he normally does. But I believe if he touches him with that left hand, Oliveira's going out.
So you're picking Conor to become the next lightweight champion of the world. And then Khabib comes back, fights him, beats him, goes 30-0.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at the big picture.
Officially retires.
Right.
Biggest fight in the history of ever.
In the history. Oh, man.
The only fight Khabib will come out of retirement for is to fight. No, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Is to fight Conor for the UFC lightweight title again, just to be like, nah. Like I'm still here.
I'm
like,
the GOAT, dude. I'm the GOAT.
Bro, speaking of Khabib, real quick, you see that whole Khabib Hamzat beef happening?
Yeah, like Hamzat saying that he would smash Khabib.
Yeah, he's calling him out, doing all this stuff, man.
Well, I mean, is that Hamzat?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or is it Ali?
But he manages both of them, I'm pretty sure, I think.
Does he?
I think he manages Khabib and maybe not. Maybe he doesn't manage
No,
Khabib.
he does. He does manage Khabib. Yep. Yeah, because remember the whole Conor beef? Remember he was talking about Ali? Conor was talking about Ali?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, he does.
So that's just straight up Hamzat. And there's some crazy beef up in there, like deep beef. I ain't even trying to get in because I'm just afraid I'm for my life speaking of it right now.
Just talking about it.
Just talking about it.
One of the two are going to come in here and slap you, Tony.
Yeah, dude. My goodness.
Man.
But that's crazy. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's good. We got a lot of stuff happening, man. Exciting stuff. Exciting.
That's it. That's all we got today.
Dude, that's it, man.
It flew by. Time flies when you're talking about stuff. Oh, wait. No, wait. We can't finish without a story, WB.
Story time. I was about to say, you want to skip story time? Like in my head, I was looking.
Dude.
Are we going to skip story time?
Give me story time. This one's a good one. I'm excited.
We're going to talk about the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth,
the man, the myth, the legend, Papa Ridgehand.
Actually him. Last week we talked about Papa, about Grandpa.
About his dad. Now this one is going to go back 70s, late 70s, I believe, maybe really early 80s. I think it was late 70s. Mm-hmm. My dad was a brown belt. I think this was in South Carolina. Yeah, I think it was in Greenville, maybe. Well, my dad was a brown belt, not a black belt yet. Went to the gym and was getting, going to get some training in. He's in the back, just doing some shadow boxing and stuff like that. And my dad looks over and he sees these two Taekwondo dudes come in. This was back in the day when like dojo wars were happening. Mm-hmm. You see in all like the kung fu flicks, this style versus that style, and they would fight each other to see which one was the best. You hear about the Gracies doing that, guys coming in challenging the Gracies. Well, apparently my dad's instructor was talking crap about, I guess, this local Taekwondo school.
Which my dad had no
Yeah,
clue
Dad had
about
no idea that this
dude
was
was
happening.
talking
Dad was
trash.
just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And so my dad's instructor was sitting there teaching classes, and these two Taekwondo dudes come in, pretty big. One of the dudes was pretty big, jacked,
Mm-hmm.
right? So apparently the guy comes into a challenge my dad's instructor, but my dad's instructor just came off of knee surgery, so he's out there giving, on a cane or a crutch or whatever. So they challenged my dad's instructor, but my dad's instructor was like, I can't fight you, but that guy will, pointing at my dad.
Yeah, like this dude over here.
And Dad's over there shadow box, like, why is he pointing at me over here? What's going on? So I guess from what I gathered of the story, his instructor came in to my dad, was like, hey man, this guy's want to spar. I don't think he even told him about the beef.
No, he's like, he'll get some sparring in. Yeah. Obviously I can't, I'm hurt. So, you want to spar?
Yeah. And at the time, you got gloves, you got a headgear on. And my dad went over to that. He said, Dad could look at the guy and say he looked pretty pissed. Right? Yeah. He was ready to throw down. And he offered the guy some gear, but the guy was like, we don't wear gear. Like really douchey.
Yeah.
We don't wear gear. So the match starts. And right off the bat, this dude side kicks my dad into the wall. Now, they had stucco walls. Just side kick the dude. And normally when you side kick somebody into a wall or hit somebody into a wall, you let them off. The guy side kicked him over and over and over again until the stucco wall just broke, just like caved in. So Dad's like, man, in his head, he's like, give the benefit of the doubt. This guy, it's pretty tough. Maybe he's just a hardcore guy. I don't know. So they were sparring again, and what kind of broke the camel's back, the guy grabs my dad's head and headbutts the crap out of Pops.
Mm-hmm.
The guy didn't have any headgear on, just headbutts him. And that's when my dad really started to turn it up. So the next thing that happened was the Taekwondo guy goes to throw a front kick, and my dad parries it to the inside. And this is one of the reasons we call him Papa Ridgehand.
This is the reason.
Well, he's actually finished many dudes with a Ridgehand, but this is like the main reason. Now, if you don't know what a Ridgehand is an open hand strike with the inside edge of the wrist and hand. Now, if you look at my dad's hands, like he's got like knuckles, like bricks as knuckles, right? He's got a very conditioned hand, whatever. He parries the kick to the inside and comes over top and hits this dude across the face with an open hand Ridgehand. He knocks him out, but not just knocks him out, but he gashes the dude across his face, like he cuts him all the way across the guy's face, like ends him right then and there. Just like, and dad just like walks off.
Dude, he said like the dude like just fell back.
Yeah, just fell back,
like
out,
and
with
then his buddy just like drug him out of the dojo.
Yeah, just like, oh, dude, like, come on, just like drags him out.
You gotta get out of here. He said he just kind of like eyeballed the other guy, and the other guy was like, but
cool. It's okay. Yeah, cool story. When I say it, even cooler.
We got to get Pops on here to talk about more stuff because they were doing that stuff on all the time back in the day.
I wish they still had dojo wars.
stories.
That would be cool.
That'd be crazy. But
Did you go and challenge people?
Good ending of the story is now they're best friends.
They're like buds.
Dad and this guy, they're like best friends now. So it's really cool.
Yeah. I think the only thing you can do after something like that is become friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't stay enemies.
Yeah, because
right? Like, what the heck?
It ain't. I gotta be this dude's friend now.
Yeah,
he done totally beat me up. Like I got no chance. I just gotta join his side.
Yeah, you gotta join forces.
But
yeah,
there you have it, guys.
Story time.
What's up, everybody?
Papa
Podcast.
Ridgehand.
Papa Ridgehand story time. Make sure you guys like the content. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already.
Throw some comments down below.
Ask us some questions. We'll address them on the next episode. And don't forget, we're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. If you can, please leave us an awesome review over there on Apple Podcasts.
Let's do it. Let us know about if you are liking the story times.
Yeah. Let us know about all that good stuff. And stay tuned to the channel for some more kickboxing breakdowns for
Let's
WB.
go.
You guys love that, so we'll keep dropping that type of content for y'all as well. Again, shout out to Kairos Mediterranean. Go check them out. Food that moves you forward. We appreciate you guys. See y'all next week.
Peace, man. Sweet tea. High five.
Peace. High five.
Us.
Us.